to your Waymo ride.
Thank you.
So it's only 2 passengers in the back seats. So using the Waymo app, you can customize how you want your Waymo experience to begin with your temperature and also the amount of legroom that you want. So we're gonna move it to maximize rear legroom, and that moves the seat up so you can have a little bit more time to stretch.
Nice.
So when you come into any Waymo, you start by putting on your seatbelts.
Yep.
I can hold this as you want.
Thank
to buckle
you.
up. Safety is number one priority for Waymo, and it begins with your seatbelts. And in fact, the car won't continue the journey unless everybody is buckled in.
Okay.
So there's a big blue button when you come in that says Start Ride. You can also begin the ride on your app.
Okay.
I'll give you the honors.
All right, let's go. Where are we going?
We're going to Lorna Doone Park, which is around the corner, basically.
Okay.
It's about a 15-minute round trip.
All right, let's start it.
So automatically, you get to see what the Waymo driver sees. You see the traffic lines, what are crosswalks, what are double yellows, not to cross over. But importantly, you see in really detailed 3D people, cars, buildings, anything that is moving or is a feature in the roadway. It is just being shown as a distillation of what the Waymo driver is seeing, and it's using its 29 cameras, 6 radar, 5 LiDAR, and 4 audio sensors to put all this information together.
So anyone walking by or anything will be representing on the map, and probably more than a human could see with all that.
Exactly. So we have our sensors pushed to the corners of the vehicle and above, so that we are seeing further forward, definitely in the back more than a human, and above traffic, a lot of traffic, with having our sensor stack also mounted high. And really, at the end of the day, we want to provide a safer experience than what human drivers do. And we've driven over 200 million miles without a human in the driver's seat. So we have a cyclist that ran the red, and it catches that.
Yep.
So that is one to note.
And we're downtown Orlando, but the service area, at least initially with Orlando, stretches up from a downtown basically up to, or down to almost Disney World, but not quite.
Right, we're like on the street's boundary of Disney World. We encompass Universal, we encompass SeaWorld. This is our initial offering, so we're going to be expanding our fleet, our service area, but also the parks that we service. And as you and your readers know, parks are complicated, busy places. We're confident that we can navigate those busy locations. We navigate airports, busy airports in San Francisco and Phoenix. But we're still negotiating with a lot of the parks to get the right and safest pickup drop-off areas. We've done that with SeaWorld, so you can hail a ride and see where you can be dropped off at SeaWorld.
Okay.
We're still doing that with Universal City Walk, that whole property. And as that gets finalized and updated, just really look in your Waymo app and see if that is available as a destination. And as soon as it is, it'll be reflected in the app. So I know those will be continuing conversations, and the best way to find the most recent news of those pickup and drop-off locations are to look in the app and see if that's serviceable. And if you don't mind a little extra walk, hey, you can be dropped off at the nearest curb right by.
Okay, and then you mentioned the airport, but they're not yet here at the Orlando airport as well, so that hopefully will be in an expansion as well.
Correct. We want that to be, and we're in talks already with them. We want to serve where people want to go, and especially in Orlando, which relies so much on tourism, we want to be part of that vital viaduct of transportation solutions between the airport and the destinations in Greater Orlando. So we're we want to serve that. We expect to expand to serve all these areas as well as freeways. And so we typically, as we grow into a new market, we start on city streets, and when we're good and confident about our ability to handle Orlando traffic on city streets, we'll expand to the freeway. And then once we expand to freeway, usually you need freeway access to access the airport, and around that time we hope that would unlock as well.
So right now, if we were here downtown and we want to go to SeaWorld, it would use side streets to get there?
Yeah, it will use major boulevards.
And would that cost the consumer more money because it's not the most direct route?
Not necessarily. We're a demand-based system, just like Lyft and Uber.
Mm-hmm.
So really it's about the busyness and the occupancy of the fleets at that time. So if there are more Waymo vehicles available, just like Uber and Lyft, it will be a lower price versus when the whole fleet is maximized on busy nights, like a Friday night or something like that. But good news is we plan on adding more vehicles to serve the area as it grows, and we want it to be a competitive service. And I think you see that reflected in a lot of the markets we're in.
Okay. And then right now, although it's launching today in Orlando, not everyone can go in the app and get a ride, correct?
Correct. Everyone can download the app, and that, by the act of downloading and signing up here in Orlando, that puts you on our waiting list, which, bear in mind, be patient, it's thousands long already, that wait list. But we are tackling that wait list as quickly as possible, so as not to inundate the service for the couple dozen Waymos that we have available. And really it's our hope by the end of the year we'll not only be through the wait list, but we won't even need that wait list anymore. So anybody with an app can download and begin the service, just like you're able to do in our major markets that we serve right now.
And then do you have an idea of about how long it would take to expand the area? Like when could people expect Disney to be added, or the airport?
It's tough to say. There's maybe a lot of internal regulations or internal understanding in the places that we want to partner with that maybe they need to understand themselves first and what the recommendations are for autonomous vehicles, because it is such a new service that I think a lot of people are asking questions for the first time that they never had to ask.
Yeah.
So it just depends. I hate to not be more specific, but we'll make sure that we're ready on the technology side and on the partnership side to understand, hey, we can consult with you to find great pickup drop-off areas, but it's ultimately up to those partner agencies and groups and airports and theme parks.
What about just in general of expanding the area, like just other streets or just a wider area? We'll do it little by little. Each time we expand, we are going to do a detailed map of that area for extra safety. So that reveals speed bumps, deep potholes, stuff that we can avoid, both by reducing speed as we approach it or just be routing around it. So that detailed mapping takes some time, but we will be expanding here in Orlando, just as you have seen us expanding in all of our major markets like LA. And that's something you've done before you even launched here, was map all the streets.
Yeah,
I've seen them driving around for months, almost a year.
Yeah, and we really believe in that extra level of mapping for more safety. So we're at a midpoint. You can add up to 4 different spots, or sorry, 4 different stops on a Waymo ride, and if you don't specifically like this drop-off spot, there's a button where you can pull ahead and can find the next one a little ways up. But we're just we're going to add a stop. Like I said, we can add many stops. We're going to go back and make a round trip over to Create Coffee.
Vehicle approaching.
So you can do that right in your app, not on the screen here.
Correct. They leave that integration.
The pull ahead button's there, but not okay.
And then we can set it specifically on a map. So when you set your destination, you have maybe recommended, I'll put this here, you have some recommended dots for your drop-off areas. But you can also click a button at the top that has a little pencil, and you can put it specifically on a map. As long as it's shaded in green or blue, that's a completely valid and safe spot to drop off.
Okay.
So we're updating our trip. Now we're ready to resume our ride and make this a round trip.
Alrighty.
We talked a lot about safety and the sensors around to make that a really detailed experience at night through weather. But we also want to make it a comfortable experience inside the car. The Jaguar I-Pace is super nice. You can pre-program the temperature before you get in the vehicle, but you can also integrate your Spotify and your YouTube Music. If you have accounts already, you can integrate them into the app, and it's automatically in the car. And then you have iHeart radio stations, which are pre-programmed, and you can jam out. And maybe especially a popular one here in the Orlando area is the Disney Hits station as you go around to a lot of attractions here.
Okay.
So with kids or just a night out, this can be a great option for you.
And then can you hold 3 people back here? And so can it hold 4?
Yeah, so 4 total riders.
Okay.
There's for the number of seatbelts, nobody in the driver's seat behind the wheel. But otherwise, there's a space for 4. So we're slowing down. We notice a person here poking out, and we're just wanting to make sure that we give space and go around them.
Gotcha. Handled it well.
Yeah. So visitors coming to Orlando, just make sure you download the Waymo app. If it's during this phase where we're still servicing people on the wait list, that's not going to be an immediate opportunity to ride in a Waymo for anybody visiting. But once it's broadly opened for the public, hopefully later this year, that means you can fly into Orlando, download the Waymo app, and begin riding. And that's where we want to be as fast as possible. For international users, on our FAQ page on waymo.com, it answers the question of how many or where, if you're coming from different countries, what country numbers and bank codes we service. So take a look at that, especially if you're coming internationally. We have a lot of visitors from Brazil or UK. Right. We'll always have the current list of countries that we're able to serve through app integration. And sometimes it may require then to have a U.S. form of payment as a workaround. But for the most part, for especially visitors from the UK, I know are already supported, for example. But check out that FAQ to make sure that you're prepared before you land.
And then, as soon as they land, if they couldn't download it ahead of time, as soon as they land, they should be able to download it.
Exactly.
And sign up and get to rides. Yeah, it seems like it'll be a seamless thing once it's at the airport, once it's at Disney and all the Disney resorts, whether they're going there or Universal. There shouldn't be they can go right from the airport and get all the rides through there.
Yeah, and that's what we want to work toward.
And I think they can do that now with Uber and Lyft, but this is a little, I don't want to say safer, but
we'll say because that's what we want to be. That's why we built Waymo, is to be the world's most trusted driver through this a lot of technology informing its path and where it's going. So all of this is really to create a safer experience. That is exactly the word we want you to use.
Yeah, and I'm not to say that all Uber drivers are bad drivers or bad people, but they do have those people that are bad drivers, and we've all gotten into somebody's driving a little too fast for your safety. Now, does Waymo stay at the speed limit? Does it go slightly over? How does it handle that?
It will always follow the rules of the road. So if it's a speed limit, we follow the speed limit. The only exceptions are like some common sense situations where maybe you have a double yellow line, but it's a single lane of through traffic, and if you have like a delivery truck in front of you that's stopped, the car isn't going to just wait for that delivery truck to move.
Right.
We're going to cross over the yellow line when we see it safe and get back into our lane of traffic. So that's an example of how there's a lot of built-in AI reasoning here in the Waymo driver so that it has some human-like decisions about how it's moving around, not just in the gentleness of the stops and how it takes corners.
And I see we're following a fire engine, but had it been behind us, the Waymo would pull over for it to pass?
Exactly. In fact, I just took a ride today where fire trucks were coming out of its firehouse, and the Waymo driver recognized that and pulled over as they passed by, which is exactly what you're supposed to do as a human driver too, and we make sure that our Waymo driver understands that too.
I was just thinking, at the Universal, if you go to their new theme park, there's a dark universe area where you can meet the Invisible Man. You can tell him he drove you to the park.
We do have a driver, and a lot of people call this a driverless experience, a driverless car. Really, there is a driver. There is a very experienced driver here. You're just invisible. So yeah, see the Invisible Man at Universal, sure, can be our mascot.
And does the Waymo AI train on all the rides you've ever given?
Yeah.
So if it's encountered a situation, it can learn from that.
Exactly, and that's the benefit for having one driver. It's always a consistent experience. And you're mentioning with sometimes Uber or Lyft, it may be a cast of the die to see what kind of quality driver you're going to get. With a Waymo driver, it's always going to be the same quality in the same interior experience, clean, comfortable. Consistency and safety is part of what makes the magic of Waymo happen.
And I assume you have to be 18 or older to use the service?
Yeah, we do allow minors in the car. They just have to be accompanied by an adult.
Okay.
But we're experimenting in, say, Phoenix with Waymo for Teens to expand that so that teenagers can
have a safe way to get to school.
Can have a safe way, and it's
yeah.
attached to their parents' apps, so the parents are always aware of how
where they're
using.
at, yeah, what they're doing, yeah.
So hopefully we can expand that trial run to more cities, but in general, if you're a kid and you want to ride in Waymo, bring mom and dad with you.
And what about car seats? Are any supplied, or do you need to have your own?
Please bring your own car seats. And in fact, the placard in front of you gives tips if you have kids about bringing your car seats and expectations for doing that and other safety tips. Importantly, whenever you're a new user and you get into the car, there is an introduction video that shows the basics of Waymo, our privacy policy. Cameras are on, microphones are off until you call
if you need to
support, which is one button away. And it's just part of an integrated experience. You want it to be comfortable.
And then as far as luggage, you can fit as much as you can in the trunk. And so if you're coming in on vacation, is there a maximum amount of luggage that it holds, or just...
I've never been asked that question. If it fits,
you're good.
Do it. Just like a cat. It fits. If it fits back there, it's good. And importantly, if you open the trunk before you get in the car, it'll open the trunk as you exit, so you don't forget anything that's in there.
That's good.
And in fact, the cameras are also detecting lost items. I have been in a Waymo today where I left my backpack in the front seat, and I was walking away, and the external speaker said, "Please check the car. You may have left something behind," and it was exactly right.
Okay. So if they order an Uber, or if they order a Waymo and it comes and they can't get all their luggage in, can they just cancel it and no charge? Or?
Yeah, and I think that'd be a great time to click the customer support button and talk to the human on the other end and say like, "Hey, we thought this would work, but it's not." And yeah, of course
they would help you out. Yeah. Okay. Or they get two Waymos, one for their luggage. And do you have to be sitting in it? Can you send your stuff in a Waymo? I know, tough questions today.
Yeah, I think it's designed for people.
Okay.
And it might also think that is going to be a lost item.
That's true. Yeah, so just split up. The husband goes in one and the wife in another. If they're bringing that much luggage.
However you want to do it. We can serve as many Waymos as you have apps for.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us.